Hi Wildings, welcome to or welcome back to the Wilding Tarot YouTube channel where we do intuitive tarot card readings, especially on love and relationships and how they can be a vehicle for our own spiritual development, which is basically like the essence of the Lovers card. If you look at traditional cards, usually at least one of the lovers, but usually Eve, is looking up at the divine, which symbolizes her knowing that the connection that she shares with her partner in the physical is all about aligning with unconditional love in the physical, and becoming more godlike. It's like a path to God, to be in relationship with another being. So essentially that's what we do here. If you're new, and yeah, if you're old and or like not new to the channel, yeah, that's like the vibe. That's why I created Wilding Tarot. That's what I feel really passionate about, supporting people in. But yeah, I'm gonna get into today's video in a moment, but for now, enjoy the Zen vibes of me setting up our beautiful ritual space so that we can channel messages from spirit, based on what I've been guided to share with you guys today. But it looks like we're about ready to start the video, so let's get into it. Okay Wildings, let's get into today's video. As you might have seen from the title of this video, we're going to be asking spirit for channeled messages around any past partners that might still be housing any sort of regret from your connections with them, what those regrets entail, why they might have them, and anything like that you would like be, I don't know, what anything that would be helpful to know about regrets on your past partners. And so maybe that can bring you some clarity in regards to the relationship. Maybe it will help you see kind of another side. So if there's someone that you've broken up with recently or a long time ago, or a particular ex that you have in mind, we're going to go ahead and get channeled messages regarding any regrets that that person might have. But being open to hearing messages from maybe someone who didn't immediately pop into your mind, but who will pop into your mind as we start reading. Sometimes we can come to this reading with an intention to hear messages about one person, but spirit has like other ideas in mind. So being like super open to hearing messages from potentially different people than what you were expecting. And as well, knowing that your situation might be a combination of two different scenarios. So if you are drawn to multiple piles, that's so normal. Your situation just might be a combination of two different piles. So you may be getting messages from two different places. But yeah, trust that you know what's right for you and you know what's good for you. And you kind of can honor your intuition and get the messages that Spirit is intending for you to hear today, for whatever reason. So whenever you're ready, going ahead and choosing either pile 1, 2, or 3. If you're not feeling particularly drawn to any of these piles, like just at the moment, or you need some sort of help because you're practicing some sort of self-care or avoiding triggers or anything like that, I've left a very brief description of each reading at the bottom of the description box, so you can have that little bit of extra kind of buzzword to choose your pile from, or you can be very intentional about the pile that you choose. So that's always there for you as an option, but for everyone else, just I'm going to leave a freeze frame here in a moment. If you need a little bit more time, just choosing a pile based on your intuition, and wherever you end up, I will see you there very soon. Hey there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading for any regrets that a past partner or partners or past situationship might have in regards to you and your connection with them. So if you chose this beautiful purple fluorite crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But remembering to bring your intuition and discernment, knowing that this is a general reading and there will be some messages that might need to be slightly altered to better fit your situation if your energy deviates from the collective in one way or another, which I'm sure it will. But let's get some general themes for your reading. Okay, so the three astrology cards that we have for you, pile one, is the Grand Cross, the 11th house, and the second house. So the Grand Cross is aspects in your chart where there's, it basically looks like this in your chart, like a square with like provoking aspects. Like it's a very difficult aspect in your astrology chart, and it usually entails kind of like lots of friction where aspects are kind of like rubbing up against each other in like the wrong way, so to speak. I would say that just based on this energy that potentially we're going to be dealing with energy of regret based on how your person may have been rubbed up against in this connection, or regrets of how they dealt with that, or how they showed up to that kind of difficulty. We also have the 11th house. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius and Uranus energy. So Aquarius is a very kind of like individualistic energy, and Uranus is all about your own inner genius. So the 11th house is generally like soul contracts, like I think of it as. So it's like how you fit into the tapestry of life in terms of the contracts that you've made with many souls in this life before you got here. So yeah, a lot of the time, kind of like on a superficial level, it refers to like friends, social media, and like communities and workplaces and things like that. But it's actually much deeper than that. It's more to do with like the actual soul contracts of what all of that kind of community vibe is all about. Like we don't manifest on earth not connected to things. So yeah, it's really about your connections and soul partnerships in order to help you learn your lessons in this life. And then the second house has to do with possessions and owning. It's ruled by Taurus and Venus energy. So it is like a very kind of feminine, receptive energy, because Taurus is an earth sign, and Venus is obviously like kind of our relational kind of placement. It also has to do with like how we value things, and how we're valued, more deeper than like kind of money and like material things. Like it's like valuing on a deeper level. So I would say that potentially some of the messages gonna come out to do with like value, maybe kind of providing energy, and soul contracts energy. Probably all likely to come up, but let's go ahead and get a bit more specific using our traditional tarot. We get more messages for pile one, please, in regards to regrets from a past connection, please. Could we clarify this Five of Wands energy? And this Magician energy, please. Pile 1, your person regrets not putting a ring on it when they had the chance, with this 4 of Wands and 8 of Wands coming out, both in reverse. This is traditionally like an action energy, and this is a marriage and harmony energy. They definitely know that they let a really good thing pass them by, and that they definitely should have like wifed you or married you, or like essentially provided some sort of long-term commitment, but it seems like maybe they had some stuff to deal with before they were ready to do that, but they kind of wish that they had have just been not ready and just done it anyway, even like just because they're regretting so much like letting this connection go. It seems like they had some things to kind of like come into in terms of energy. They were definitely trying to grow into this magician kind of archetype, and become way more generous in connections, with this definitely second house and 6 of Pentacles coming out. So this 6 of Pentacles, this is Moon in Taurus energy. So again, with this double Taurus energy coming out, they just wanted to be way more generous in terms of their time, their attention, their money, just like everything. They just wanted to be so much more generous and giving, and show you this real King of Wands like kind of strength archetype within them, but for whatever reason they didn't. They definitely saw a bigger picture for you guys. They definitely had this vision of your life together, but I'm sensing that at the same time they were definitely feeling very provoked by this connection, because there was some triggers that were coming out for them, and they were definitely having to battle their own ego a lot with this Strength card coming out. So that was kind of stopping them from really showing you this King of Wands energy and being this very generous energy. And I don't think they knew how to slow down and be present enough either to be in this very to be in this magician energy. So magician energy generally refers to someone who's very present, who treats their body like a temple and treats their attention like a temple. They're very intentional about where they put their attention. They don't get lost in kind of the busyness of life, and they like dedicate themselves to really what matters. 4 of Swords is traditionally like a rest energy. So with these two coming out together, they were definitely not present enough. They're probably just like kind of caught in the hustle, caught in the grind. And they later realized that these aren't things that are gonna make them happy. Like this 10 of Pentacles card is kind of like peak energy when it comes to energies manifesting into a tangible form, whether that's like wealth, success, like just good quality of life, or just like generally enjoying your life. It's like Mercury and Virgo energy, so it's heavy kind of like 6th house, like having a really good lifestyle, health, work kind of energy. Yeah, they definitely were way too caught up in the hustle, and they just definitely weren't seeing and appreciating what was right there in front of them at the time. And because they were just like not in this magician King of Wands, like able to act on their vision, able to be generous, able to kind of like rest, and also like know what's worthy of their attention and what's just like busyness or noise, they definitely weren't taking responsibility for like A, themselves, but B, for this connection. They were just kind of like playing it on autopilot, so to speak. So they were definitely playing their patterns on autopilot too. Like their stuff just kind of like took over, I'm sensing, and they definitely weren't there for you to support you the way that you deserved. And so they definitely regret how this connection ended up, because yeah, they, in another life, they would definitely have put a ring on it. They definitely would have like dropped like a lot of the work and busyness that they had going on and focused way more attention on this connection and you, because they realize now that it was so important, and they just did not devote the time and energy to it that it deserved. And they probably didn't like kind of spoil you how they wish they had either, to kind of like show you in action like how they felt on the inside. Yeah, they were definitely like reserved in that way a lot. But let's get some oracles. Is there anything else that Spirit wants us to know that they regret? Yeah, I'm sensing that they probably like were a bit of this avoidant runner kind of energy, listening to their ego and being fear of intimacy, which is probably why they were so like busy and not like kind of being present and able to like enjoy life. They were kind of keeping themselves occupied so that they could avoid connection. They could also avoid themselves, because they didn't only fear intimacy with another person, they also feared intimacy with themselves. So they were like keeping themselves busy to keep distracted. And yeah, like they definitely regret that. They regret, I think, not realizing it and bringing attention to it and just kind of like letting that pattern play out in autopilot. They know they needed time to heal, but they wish they had have done way more healing before they met you. They wish they had have invested that time into their healing before they met you, so that things could have gone a different way. They realized by running and avoiding for so long that when they ran into something like really, really good, that they essentially messed it up. Because yeah, they hadn't invested that time in their own healing first, and so it just manifested in things like going south very quickly. And I think they had maybe this false idea that with the right person it would just work out, and they didn't realize that it would actually just take work and take inner healing, like regardless of whether it was the right person or not. They definitely wish they had have like kind of dated you a bit more hardcore, a bit more like kind of traditionally, I would say. Like I think this person probably wanted to do kind of that traditional masculine like dating, wooing someone, but yeah, they definitely didn't, and they regret that. They regret not taking this connection more seriously and letting their kind of runner and avoidant tendencies take over. Okay, so they know they let something good go by because they're definitely keeping an eye on probably all your socials and just like keeping an eye on what you're doing. Yeah, they're definitely still keeping tabs on you, and kind of like dreaming of reconnection. But yeah, they know that they definitely caused you a lot of pain. They caused themselves a lot of pain by how this connection kind of went down, and they definitely regret it. But let's see what other messages we can get for you. Yeah, channel messages for pile 1, please. Okay, this is a lot. I never thought I'd experience a love like this. You excite me. I'm pretending I'm more okay than how I feel. I was in denial about my feelings. Commitment overwhelms and scares me. I regret the chances I didn't take. You may not be perfect, but you're perfect for me. I'm outgrowing old patterns. I feel broken. I'm learning how to act with more integrity. I wish it was different. I need solitude right now. I'm becoming more present and aware. Yeah, this is that magician energy that we were talking about. I know you understand this from a higher perspective. I hope you're healing and growing right now. I want more for myself in life now. I'm afraid of self-sabotaging. I distance myself to avoid feelings. Yeah, this is that runner energy we were talking about. I'm starting to understand how I create my own problems. I'm facing all the ways I want to heal and grow. I'm trying to understand my feelings. Nobody knows how I feel. Be patient while I learn to open up. Okay. Take whatever of those resonates. You may feel resonance with all, you may feel resonance with some. Yeah, I think this person definitely wants a new beginning with you, and they definitely want to create a new cycle, which is why they're heavily focusing on a lot of their own healing right now. Yeah, and they're growing a lot. They're doing the work, essentially, so that they can have what it is that they want. Okay, so we have prosperity lies ahead with this new moon in Taurus energy, and then we also have communication is key. So we've had a lot of Taurus energy in this reading, so your person probably has a Taurus placement somewhere in their chart, or just has this kind of like Taurus-y kind of prosperity, like protector, provider kind of energy, or like very receptive kind of energy. And yeah, they're probably like working on this in terms of like physical finances, but probably also just like general abundance too, so that they can come to this connection for a second chance with just like way more of an abundant mindset and way more of like, yeah, just like way more generosity and willingness to share, because they definitely felt like that held them back the first time, and they definitely want another chance at communication. I would say that they've probably not stopped thinking about this connection for the majority of the time that you guys have spent apart, and they've just been kind of like thinking about all the things that they want to say to you. And they've been probably sending you signs in nature as well of like messages of love and care. So definitely like look for those signs. You guys will probably have some like inside like things that you know to look for, or like songs, or something. Like there'll be signs in nature, signs on the radio, signs everywhere that they're sending to you in the 5D. And yeah, if there's anything that you like wake up thinking about, like anything from nature that you wake up thinking about, that's probably something that they're trying to send you, that they've told you that they're trying to send you on like the astral plane. Yeah, so there'll be a reason why you kind of know that those signs are for you in like deeper ways. So your affirmation is, I see all circumstances as a gift that allow me to grow. So your person's definitely growing a lot, and they definitely want you to be growing as well. Like I'm sure that there was stuff on both sides of this connection. Obviously the nature of this reading, it's really focusing on like their side. But yeah, I think the two of you probably will both be heavily in this, like seeing whatever circumstance that you're in now as a gift that allows you to grow into who it is that you really want to be. And I think, yeah, that's true for the two of you right now. But I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. My name's Jade Wilding, and it has been a pleasure reading for you. If you would like a private reading, I've got a link in my description box below. And if you can like, comment, and subscribe to hang around on my YouTube channel, I would really appreciate that, so that we can connect again for another reading. Either way. But until next time, ciao. Hey there, pal 2. Welcome to your reading for anything your ex or ex-situationship or previous lover, or like maybe a few back previous like connection may regret that you need to know about for whatever reason. So if you chose this beautiful crystal, then this reading is probably for you. However, bringing your intuition and discernment, knowing what's for you, what's not for you, and what needs to have what cards need to have a slight different interpretation for your situation, where your energy deviates from the collective in some way. But we're just going to start by getting the themes of our reading, or the main energies to focus on. So we have our Saturn return. This usually happens around the age of 27, 28. So if that age is significant, like that's your sign. But the Saturn return in itself often initiates a lot of like self-truth, self-responsibility, especially for any 10th house Saturn kind of energies that we committed to before we came to this life. It's usually how we committed to contributing to the tapestry of life in terms of like sharing our gifts and doing things to kind of like better like life and humanity. It also represents like maturity and structure and like becoming more disciplined in some way. So yeah, probably maturity and discipline is probably going to come up. We also have Libra energy. This is the ruler of the 7th house of partnership. It's about obviously the scales and balance, and this also represents sunrises and sunsets, so like beauty and endings and beginnings often. It's also the connector of the night and day aspects of the tarot. So in the tarot you have day signs, then you have night signs, and Libra is the connector between the day and the night, which is why she represents partnerships, because partnerships are, it's particularly to do with romantic partnerships, which is considered like the day, i.e. sun, masculine, yang kind of energy, and the night, i.e. feminine, moon, like energy. That's what she represents. We also have the Jupiter return card. So Jupiter returns often bring like heavy Jupiter energy back to us. So good luck, abundance, good fortune, all that sort of stuff. Jupiter also rules the house of spiritual development, the ninth house with Sagittarius. So often it's about philosophy, travel, becoming more educated, having like deeper spiritual experiences and developing spiritually as a being. Then we also have the 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo and Mercury energy. So it's very much the intellectual side of Mercury, the kind of like how things work and how things get done energy. And Virgo's like goddess energy, and represents like, so Virgo is considered like critical, but Virgo really is about like longing for better, which is why it rules the 6th house of like routine, lifestyle, health and work, because in all of our criticisms underneath that is often a longing for something else, something deeper, and how we achieve those deeper things in life is by integrating them into our lifestyle, into our routine, and that's why Virgo rules all of that energy. So she's definitely about integrating like better for our lives, especially in our 6th house of routine, in order to achieve that kind of energy. But let's go ahead and get a bit more specific using our traditional tarot. Can we get some messages for pile 2 in regards to interesting that the Justice card is the first card out because that's also heavy Libra energy. Any more messages about regret for pile? Two. Can we clarify this Justice card energy? And the Four of Swords. And the Five of Cups. So it seems like one of the biggest regrets that this person has is essentially how they left things with you. I'm sensing that you guys went into separation under not the best circumstances, and they definitely wish that they had have like consciously uncoupled with you way more intentionally, because they know that they kind of left, or you guys left the relationship on kind of weird terms and just kind of opened up the connection to so much more kind of pain and story and ego and like just challenge by not kind of honoring the connection and closing it in a way that like yeah, like honored like what you had. So we have Libra energy. This is traditionally relationship kind of energy, this Justice card. We have separation energy with this Three of Swords in reverse. We have like kind of lacking of rest with this Four of Swords energy. We have like harvest energy here. Then we have regret, loss, heavy regret and loss, heavy story with this Five of Swords. Then we have like consumption and destruction, or heavy Pluto transformation energy. And then we have heavy like potential manifest pureness kind of energy in terms of like earth energy, so anything to do with like money, lifestyle, and all of that sort of stuff. Like they're all the themes of cards that we have coming out. And what it seems like is that your person definitely like sees this connection so much more for what it is now with this Libra energy coming out, especially coming out twice, and how you were kind of like their perfect match or their perfect fit. And just like kind of complemented their energy so well. But yeah, they definitely regret the way that you went into separation. They think that it caused the two of you a lot more pain and a lot more suffering than potentially what needed to be. And I think these cards are indicating that they are worried that it might have impacted their ability to have another turn at this connection. And so they're definitely fairly uncertain if they're going to get another chance at kind of like redemption for this themselves. The Star card has a lot to do with kind of like hope, especially for something better. It has like heavy Aquarius kind of honesty energy behind it. And yeah, they're definitely, because of the way things closed, because you guys didn't have that conversation that really closed the connection on kind of good terms, they're definitely not sure if they're going to get this kind of revival, because this Four of Swords can represent like rest, but it also can represent the rest necessary for revival. Like they didn't put this connection to rest in a healthy way, and then they also kind of in that way haven't like kind of left it open for a revival, or for like them to have another chance to harvest something from this connection, to experience better, or to even have like an honest heart-to-heart conversation with you. And they're definitely worried that it will impact their ability to kind of transform this connection into something better, something that actually has potential to make it kind of all the way, and manifest like a really beautiful like ending for the two of you. I think like kind of heavy energy was that they didn't know how to receive this connection when they got it. Like I think it was a little bit beyond what they kind of expected for themselves in their life with this Jupiter return energy. Like I think it potentially brought them just so much kind of better than what they thought they were going to get. So definitely some of their the way that they closed this was coming from a place of fear of like, you know, I don't know if it was unconsciously like them trying to leave things with no closure to hope that it would kind of help them slide back in, but maybe now they're realizing that maybe that is actually not the case, because the pain that they invited in was just like not passing the vibe check, or they just like genuinely like had no other intention other than like kind of just closing this quickly to try and avoid pain and to try and avoid that story of like, you know, you didn't deserve this kind of thing. Like they were trying to just like quickly get things like done and dusted, so to speak, and like kind of move on with their life. And they definitely feel like that kind of what we were talking about before in terms of like Virgos putting things into like your daily life, and how things go into your daily life essentially manifests your future. Like that's kind of that energy. They know that like what they put into the closing of this definitely manifested down the line, like just lots of pain, lots of regret, lots of like feelings of loss and defeat, and just like lots of like kind of negative energy. And they realize that basically it's kind of that phrase of how you do anything is how you do everything. Like it just like did not reflect well on them, and definitely manifested a lot of kind of gunk for them following this to kind of like wade through. And definitely a lot of it was coming from a place of like lack of maturity with the Saturn return energy. They wish they had been way more mature and way more responsible with the closing of this connection, because they definitely know they did you dirty, and they actually did themselves so dirty. They didn't realize how this would affect them. Yeah, so I think they regret kind of the way that they closed this connection, especially for like how it impacted you. They know that it kind of triggered some kind of abandonment issues and kind of chaser energy in you, and they definitely regret that, because they know that created a lot of pain for you, and they regret that. They were definitely hiding, their true feelings, and they were like just like avoiding a lot, and they would like trying to like pretend and go back on with their life, and essentially they were like deluding themselves. But yeah, they wish that they had been way more open about their feelings, especially at the end, and just been like able to honor what the connection was, and able to like close it really intentionally. They definitely wish they had have made a lot of healthier choices in this connection, and acted with way more like self-love, self-care, for themselves, but also for you. Like I don't think they gave you the love and care that you deserved either, and they know that they've spent this time in separation way less happy than what they could have been had they like more intentionally closed this connection. They think the way that they've left this connection, they've also left you more open to other people. With this seduction energy, they know that you've probably been dating, attracted to other people, flirting, and yeah, just like involved yourselves with way more third-party energies because of the way this connection closed. I think maybe they were hoping that it would leave things so kind of, the closure would be so lacking that you'd be more hung up on them, but actually kind of did the opposite, where you were like driven to other people way more and just like doubted their intentions and doubted their like feelings way more. So yeah, they definitely regret that, because I'm sensing a bit of jealousy. But let's see what else we can get. Do we have any messages for pile 2, please. We have pile 2 messages. So we have, I'm manifesting a happy ending. I feel so much regret about our past. Ways I used to adapt and survive are no longer serving me, and I'm letting them go. I'm still not ready. This separation is part of the divine protection of this union. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't stop thinking about you. I'm afraid of rejection. We need a heart-to-heart talk. Be patient while I learn how to open up. I'm becoming a better communicator. I'm growing into your equal partner. I want to be able to declare how much I love you. I pray for your happiness. I want to end up together. I relinquish control. Okay, it's very interesting. They obviously have a lot of feelings. Okay, so in terms of oracles, we have wisdom, faith. I think it's important that the two of you have faith in this connection, because yeah, maybe how things ended actually is part of the divine protection of this union. Maybe it was like kind of nipping it in the butt when things were like escalating really quickly. And I think on some level your person definitely knows that based on the cards that come out. That doesn't mean they don't regret it in the 3D. It's just they also understand some of the 5D reasons why things went the way that they went. Because yeah, like I think there was a lot that needed to change in this connection. I think there was a lot that you guys needed to kind of like realize and grow. I'm sensing for both of you, you needed to be able to discern a lot between like malice and just like trauma especially, and like find your own inner power. Focus on what it is that you want to manifest, what you actually want to create, and not creating from kind of the shadow anymore, and kind of being a little bit more empowered when it comes to the shadow and just like heavy feelings and like challenging feelings, not being as derailed by them, and definitely not taking them out on each other. But let's see what other oracles we have. So we have confidence is your key to success. So I know that this connection kind of left the two of you feeling not confident in it at all and creating a lot of doubt, and potentially has made you want other things and other people for sure. But yeah, having confidence in yourself and like trusting yourself to that no matter what happens, like you've got your own back, will be like super important. And also confidence in if this is what you want, like spirit will manifest it back to you without hesitation. Like be confident in what you're asking for and what you want. Know that the end of a tough cycle is approaching though, so you've probably been through it, like really through it in this time, especially with the way this connection closed. But know that yeah, everything's coming to a close, everything will get better, and you're about to enter into your like winning era. Listen to music that fills you up, lights you up, and also like know that anything that you listen to is essentially a manifestation of what you want. So if the lyrics are not reflecting a life that you would trade with, take it from your playlist. Just like yeet it out of there. So we've got for your affirmation, I trust in the divine guidance of my inner wisdom. All the answers exist within. Yeah, so really trust that inner self. There's a lot of wisdom there, and there's probably more lessons that you can uncover within yourself about kind of why things went the way that they went with this connection. But I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. It's been a pleasure reading for you. My name's Jade Wilding, and I'll be on this page doing intuitive tarot card readings for whenever you need it. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with that. And if you want a private reading, the link is in the description box below. But until next time, ciao. Hey there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading for what you need to know in regards to any regrets any past partners might have about your connection, about how things went, or whatever else. So if you chose this beautiful crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But remembering, as always, to bring your own intuition and discernment to each reading to know what's for you, what's not for you, and what messages need to be slightly altered for your situation. Where your energy deviates from the collective a little bit more. So we're just going to go ahead and get you some themes for today's reading for you to keep in mind while we're reading today. So the cards that have come out for you is the air element, which corresponds with Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. The air element also corresponds with the sword suit, has a lot to do with cognitions, any inner dialogues or stories, or things like kind of coming into formation a little bit more, especially to do with your thoughts about things. It also is like heavy like communication energy as well. Aquarius energy is 11th house, like soul contracts energy, and yeah, very much about how we as individuals contribute to kind of the tapestry of life with others, like what contracts we made with other people in terms of like kind of the experiences we wanted to have and what we essentially came here to do, and how we kind of wanted to evolve as an individual through the experiences of other people. We also have the Jupiter return card, which usually corresponds to like a bringing of like good fortune, good luck, and all of the other kind of Jupiter energy. Often it also corresponds with spiritual developments and awakenings, given that Jupiter rules the 9th house of personal development with Sagittarius energy, which is like heavy curiosity, philosophy, kind of like traveler, kind of centaur energy. But let's get a little bit deeper using this traditional tarot. We have messages for pile 3 in regards to any regrets a past partner or partners might have. Can you clarify this for Cups energy, please? Pile 3, this person heavily regrets not recognizing this connection for what it was, especially in what they communicated verbally with you. They know that they were not offering you a safe and stable place, especially emotionally and physically, and they know that by not communicating just how much they cared about you and their inner truths, that they definitely caused a lot of damage in this connection, and they definitely regret that. So 6 of Wands is traditionally kind of like a recognition kind of card, and the Queen of Swords is traditionally like a perception and truth kind of card. So they definitely weren't offering you that kind of acknowledgement, especially verbally, with this air element coming out a lot during the connection. They kind of were keeping their feelings to themselves, and they know that like that lack of reassurance definitely kind of like wasn't offering you like a lot of security and stability, especially in terms of like knowing what their feelings were for you. And so they're like almost not surprised about how this connection ended. They know that they were like being emotionally unavailable as hell, which is this King of Cups card in reverse. They know that they definitely weren't communicating, especially like their deep kind of inner thoughts with you, that had to do with the connection, and had they communicated them, it probably would have helped the connection survive. They definitely weren't taking responsibility for kind of their stuff, and also not taking responsibility for their communication, in order to kind of collaborate with you as an equal. Yeah, they kind of like left you high and dry in a lot of ways, and they're definitely regretting all of that so much. They know that they could have offered you so much more. They know that they, especially to do with communication, they wish they had have just like told you a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll pull some channeled messages to find out what that might be in a moment. But yeah, they're definitely not surprised that this connection ended, just like reflecting on their own behavior and their own choices. Yeah, so they're definitely not holding anything against you in terms of ending this connection. I think you potentially ended this connection, just based on the way the cards have come out. Yeah, so we have the love call card. So this is definitely traditionally like a communicating love kind of energy. They definitely didn't do that. They had not showing their hand kind of energy. They were like holding their cards really tight to their chest, and definitely not showing you how much they liked you. Definitely not allowing the romance to kind of blossom, or like definitely like not letting you kind of feel safe and secure enough to like continue this connection, essentially. They definitely wish they had been able to offer you so much more security and stability, and they wish they had healed their inner child a lot before. It's a good chance that you're twin flames. They wish they had healed a lot before they entered into this connection, because they just did not vibe with the way that they showed up for you. They just like regret so much stuff about it, and like just showing up with so much of their old wounds. Yeah, they know that you didn't deserve that. They know that you deserved so much more, and they regret not being able to give it to you at the time. But let's get some more channeled messages about things that they wish they had have communicated. We get messages about what pile 3 wishes they had have communicated. You help me believe in myself. I'm learning to trust the way I feel. I don't trust myself. Not yet. I'm figuring out how to feel happier in myself. I get so wrapped up in my feelings I can't be present to them. Yeah, from this place of detachment, like I'm sensing they get really involved in their feelings. I'm still not ready. The better we connect to ourselves, the better we connect with each other. Yeah, so this is why they're not ready. They want to connect with themselves better so that they can connect with you in a more healthy way. I'm glad it all led me to you. I know you deserve the world. I'm jealous. I want to provide for you. I'm so confused about how I feel. I want to listen better. I understand how I self-sabotage now. I want to be able to declare how much I love you. Yeah, they want to be able to own it. I know you understand this from a higher perspective. I hope we connect in the future. I'm living more authentically. I'm facing my shadows. I'm working on forgiving myself first. I'm sorry. So take whichever of those messages resonated. Might be all of them, might be some of them, might be a few of them, might be most of them, whatever it is, like, you do you. I think this person's definitely working on their sovereignty and understanding themselves spiritually, especially with this Jupiter return kind of energy, bringing about lots of like spiritual development and like awakening and understanding. They're definitely like resisting the patterns that they've inherited and trying to like forge their own path and create something new, because they know like falling into old patterns definitely didn't help them. But what definitely did help them was them being able to reflect on this connection and assess kind of like why they were doing the things that they were doing, and being able to understand where that came from, and kind of what to do about healing all of that stuff that came up. Yeah, so I'd say their emotions are still running high. This might mean that the separation was like maybe more recent, or like maybe it's kind of drawing to an end, so they're getting a little bit emotional again, especially with this be bold and make the first move energy. Like if you guys have been in separation for some time, I would say that they're kind of preparing to like make moves based on that like I'm not ready energy coming out. Like I don't think this is like going to be extremely soon, but they're definitely like figuring out how to make the moves that they want to make in order to at least be able to communicate with you again. Like I'm sensing that they don't really have an attachment to the end game and the outcome, but they do really want to like connect and communicate at least one more time. So we have new beginnings. So I'd say they're like hoping for a new beginning, even though that their main goal is going to be reaching out just to communicate one more time. Like they do have very high hopes about what could unfold for sure. But can we get a last affirmation for pile 3, please? Can we get a last affirmation for pile 3, please? you're gonna give us one or not? Okay, we've got 3. So we've got, I trust the divine timing of the universe. My inner wisdom is connected to the divine wisdom of the universe, and divine energy flows through me. I am a radiant being. I feel like those are very self-explanatory. I think they're all definitely things that I understand why Spirit is giving you these affirmations to contemplate on in this time that might be a little bit challenging for you. But yeah, trust the divine timing, trust your intuition and your inner knowing. It probably will tell you way more than what you realize. And then this divine energy flows through me and I'm radiant. Like, really, like, have so much faith in yourself and have so much faith in your power and like your magnetic energy. Just like trust, like just have so much trust. Especially if you really want this new beginning energy, like you totally have the power to manifest that for sure. But I think I'm going to leave this here, pile 3. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed today. My name's Jade Rewilding, and it has been a pleasure reading for you. If you'd like to stick around on my channel for more intuitive tarot card readings, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like a private reading, you can make a request using the link in the description box below. But until next time, ciao.